To be the best at something, you have to take a risk. And oftentimes taking a risk can lead to bumps in the road, to trials and tribulations, but also ultimate success. It's The Journey with Jordan Angeli. Family. Who we are is most often influenced by the people we call mom, brother, sister, or dad. Chris Armas is known for many things: an intense competitor, an MLS legend, and the newest coach of the Colorado Rapids. However, his attention to the titles dad and husband are what he is most proud of. Sit down with us as we get to dig into the life of Chris Armas and how family is everything to him. Armas family, I'm so excited to be here. Family dinner with your honorary sister, right?
Yes.
Chris?
Come on.
Welcome.
Well, we're excited. We're excited to hang out with you for a little while. Thanks for coming.
What stuck out to me in the first conversation that I had with you, Chris, is you just kept going back to family. And I think that happens a lot in what you say. So I thought, what better than to get some good food, sit around a table, and have a little chat, right?
Yeah.
I brought some wine.
Perfect.
Excellent.
You're Italian.
I'm Italian,
Cuban,
Puerto Rican, and Cuban.
That's a lot.
Just
I got some.
good mix.
I got some hot blood in me.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you guys are New Yorkers.
Yeah.
So you got some real grit to you too.
Yeah, look, New York is where we were born. It's where we've pretty much raised our kids a little bit in Chicago. But yeah, that's where our roots are. Friends, family, the upbringing, all the lessons of life so far.
Yeah.
The streets a little bit, and then parks, and in the home and family. So
I read something about your dad and you speaking about him and how you had moments in your career too that like you're so excited that he got to experience. Was his life and the way he lived it a real big influence on how you are as a dad now?
yes, I do talk to the players oftentimes about life and a little bit as parenting. I said at home today, yes, these are my 26 children. But one thing is always that my dad never said no, like to playing in the backyard. He worked 2 jobs. He'd walk a mile home from a train station, working in Manhattan, out to Long Island, and then I wouldn't think as a kid that he's tired. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. And he would say, all right, let's go. And then we're running in the house, around the house, and he's throwing little pillows, and we're catching him for like an hour. Then when he's got us massaging his feet somehow, he tricked us.
Oh yeah.
Me and my brother, somehow he's got us doing this. So yeah, look, he showed me the way to spend time with your kids. It wasn't never about the monetary things. We didn't have much, but it was always about trying to carve out dinner time was important.
Yep.
Never missed a soccer game.
How old were you when your dad, did you get to see your dad play ever?
Yeah, what I remember most is like playing with other kids after the game on the field. Or
I would take him on a Sunday, let's say, to Toyota Park, the stadium where we played, where no one's around, the building's shut down. I'd go out on the field a little bit, mess around with them. Wasn't sure if they'd ever play soccer, and it didn't matter. Whatever they wanted to do, it wouldn't have to be a sport. But we always said, hey, can you be passionate about something?
Something,
This
yeah.
is it. I just tried to inspire them.
I remember the stadium, Toyota Park. I remember the fans were really good in Chicago those first few years. Like Section 8, I still remember in Chicago. I remember the Gatorade milkshakes they had there that, like, I don't know how I remember that, but like.
That. I would imagine, not just for you guys, but like for you two, to have your kids get to see those things at such a young age, to see men like doing something that they love to do and with such passion has to be such a bonus.
Yeah.
I knew for sure, based on my upbringing, my parents, that what success would be for us is that we teach our kids right and wrong, to be considerate of people, to work hard, to not make excuses. I've always talked about that. If we're driving home after a game and they're 10 years old, I promise you, I don't even want to talk to anyone at the game. I just want to be a dad. Got my coffee. I'm not Chris Armas. I'm just a dad.
Yeah.
We'd get in the car on the way home, and then she's going at these guys. How did you miss that goal? Why would you do that? Like it's easy. How did you miss that goal? You kick it over. And I'm just like,
Well,
Justine.
someone has to keep it
I'm like,
real.
Justine, it's harder than it looks. But anytime they started making excuses, the referee, that's when I'd fix the mirror. Yo, don't blame the referee. Don't make excuses. And that's only when I was chiming in as a dad and about the life little lessons.
Yeah, I was definitely harder on them. It's only honesty in our house. Like I tell it exactly like it is, and there's no fluff. And
Would you tell him the truth if he didn't have a good game?
oh, definitely. The thing is, he was an excellent player. So he pretty much,
That's
like,
an
I can
understatement,
almost
right?
remember, like, on one hand, how many bad games he had. And I remember one time you played in Dallas, I think it was, and he came off the field. I was like, what happened to you? Do you remember that game?
No, actually. I'm sure I didn't play good. But
That game, and then I remember also the game that we got engaged after.
I proposed to her at Soldier Field
Yeah.
after a game, and I was a nervous wreck.
The whole game. So I have no idea we're getting engaged, but he's playing, and I'm like, what is he doing? Like it was like I could tell he was off.
But yeah, to your question, yes, honesty with her,
Always
and we,
told him.
as a household, we try to keep it.
And
keep it
also
real.
as a coach too now.
Are there things that stick out in your guys' journey together that you're like, oh, that experience or that memory was, I was so proud of him in that moment.
His playing career, obviously, I was always in awe of him, like how much he would put into a game, how he prepared for the games. But for me, like just him as a person, and as a father, and when we first had Christopher, so we had him in October of 01, and then you tore your ACL right before the World Cup in 02 of May. So he was like 6 months old. It was devastating. It was the worst, for me, it's the worst day of my life. So now he tears his ACL. I know he's not going to the World Cup. I see him on the sidelines crying. I was in New York watching on TV. But the fact that he could come home and just see Christopher and still be happy, like I would have been like in shambles. I mean, of course he was crushed, but like the fact that still off the field, that the man that he is for me just gives me more, it's what I'm most proud of.
Right.
We have a really good relationship together.
Yeah.
We like each other. I always tell people that like we really enjoy it. Like he makes me laugh every day.
She does say almost regularly, everybody hates you.
Yeah.
She tells me this.
Well,
So
that's just to humble you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody hates you. Okay.
It's just to bring you back down.
All right. He sees me work, so I don't know.
Yeah, I see him every day.
Yeah. What's that like? You're working with your dad.
Yeah, it's such a good experience. I feel so lucky, and to be able to learn from him, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I'm proud to be his son in those moments. Watching him, I'm like, man, how does he talk to this group like this? Or how does everyone in this building loves him? I'm like, it's pretty cool. It's not even the on the pitch stuff. They all love him off the pitch, which is more important. So
He really cares about people, and he has a tank that's just, the energy is just limitless.
Right.
We don't understand how he has the energy to do what he does. Like,
I go with him every day. I don't do too much besides listen and learn and help with some equipment during training and watch some video, and I'm exhausted. And he's just like,
Let's go again.
yeah.
The players, the people around me give me energy. That's the best way, I promise. Like there are some times in my career you're around people that take energy from you. They sap the energy. And then there's takers and givers. And the way that my staff, the organization, the players, they just give you energy to want you to succeed, and they're in on it, which gives me energy. I can go all day, I can cut film at night. I wake up early, I'm watching film all the time. I wake up extra early, let me look at more at LAFC.
Yeah.
I don't have to dig deep for it. It's just there,
What have you noticed about him now working with him that you're like, that's something that I want to emulate?
He just told the team yesterday, like, when things get tough, like, how good can you be? And he was telling the team that in terms of life, like as young men, which for me, that's important. Like, he's like talking about when you have a baby and the baby's crying all night, how good can you guys be? And just how good can you be on the field when it's tough? And that can pertain to life, so.
Oh, yeah.
I always wanted to inspire them, and they're in on the journey. So yes, of course, there's these really great experiences when you're a pro player and a pro coach. I'm not naive, there's tough times too. And you realize quickly in the ups and downs of football, for us, it's been really, really important. For me, that we do it together, whatever it is, good or bad, we just say, F it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give everything I can. I'm gonna try to deliver good work. I'm gonna try to build a culture. I'm gonna try to bring a style of play. I'm gonna try to keep the standards high every single day. At the Rapids, I knew it was the right fit for me this way. The people above that talked to me, and I knew I was dealing with the right people. Like, you never know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, you know, we got to win games, but I'll tell you what, the people that they care about the right things. They hire this way. Yeah. The standards are high. It's about the people. It's an everyday thing. This culture that we're building.
Yeah.
I can read people very well, and I knew that that was a good fit. I thought that he would be a great fit for the Rapids, and I do think you are. So I'm excited. I love the weather here.
Yeah. Gosh, I've just been I feel very lucky to get a little glimpse inside what family life is like for you guys.
That's sweet.
How about cheers to a good season and
Some wins.
Yes. And some really good experiences, because I feel like, you know, that's what it's really about. Yeah, cheers. All
Appreciate that, Jordan.
Cheers.
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 But the follow and a goal for Chicago. He celebrates.
MLS is a little different than when you played in it, right? Because I know early MLS days and some of the stories that have come out of that, right? Like, it was a different world
Sure.
than it is now. There was a humility about it, right? A real, like, workers' man, like, let's make this work. But also to know that you started that, right? That you were there from the beginning and see where it is now. What kind of thoughts does that bring up for you?
I'm an old school guy. I love MLS, you know, I'm indebted to MLS. My coaches that selected me, the commissioners that did what they did to help grow the league. So as a player for the 12 years, I coached another year after that, it's 13 years of involvement. 5 and so with the Red Bulls, it starts creeping up to almost 20 years involved in the league. It's given me a salary for years as a player, even though, you know, you make a little bit of money, maybe $30,000 year one, then it doubles and it doubles and you go to the national team, you make more money, so now you can buy a house. And so I've never been like these millionaire guys, but yeah, you make a little more money and then your family can be part of this. Playing at Giant Stadium, the Rose Bowl, and then they're building stadiums, Red Bull Arena. To see this growth.
To now Cincinnati and like the wave.
It's amazing. Amazing to be one of the pioneers that early on. You know, maybe one day I'll be one of those grouchy old timers like, when I was in there, these kids these days making all this money. But yes, it's been part of the growth. I'd like to think I keep trying to add to it. How can I add to it as a coach to raise the standards, challenge other coaches to be better, and as I continue to grow and learn too. So, and in all reality, it's still really early in our league.
Still really early. Yeah. How about with the national team? Like, what sticks out to you from your experiences there as moments that are like top of mind in your career wearing the red, white, and blue?
Yeah, some good ones with the national team. I played 66 times for the U.S. national team. Every single time, I wasn't sure if I'd get the next one, and I fought every time to get back to that squad. Even when you're there, I always remained hungry. I never ever took it for granted. Try to teach the kids that too, that the players, we said the other day, you gotta keep training like you're number 2, but believe you're number 1. You know what I'm saying? That chip on your shoulder. Guys, don't lose that edge. But fear nobody. You guys are the best. You know, like, you gotta work for it. You gotta earn it. Come to work to get better. Step on the field like, you're the best.
Yes, yeah. I love that you say that. I feel like people give you the credit, but you never let that deter your work ethic, your outlook on every single day and how you could take the day and get better.
I just think one of the best qualities in a human being is humility. But not like afraid to.
Not timid.
Not timid, never scared. I tell the players, guys, you're nervous. Muhammad Ali was nervous. It's okay.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan has admitted that, right? You got to change the way you look at it and think and act and behave like a winner, which is, it's the self-talk. But when you just think about humility and giving the credit, but you work hard and you can take the credit and you can stand in a humble way, you take it. But I just think you start there. You end up being a good team guy. You end up being good with your family. Your friends love you. People like hanging out with you. So I have that balance. I've had that balance. But yeah, it was always the mentality that if you let down your guard a little bit, someone might take it.
Right.
And I was scared of that.
Yeah.
Never wanted to lose that.
It's interesting when you were talking about coaching earlier, how now you don't feel fear, right? Like you feel like you can live fearless because you go out there and you do your best and you say, I'm going to present the best I can, which in ways feels very different than maybe some of the ways you felt as a player. But I would imagine there's still similarities, right? Like
Yeah, along the way, you get older, you get perspective, but I'm at a different place now. And as a coach, I'm like, oh, gosh, I wish I was playing today because I think I could just help, but then I say, yeah, but you had so much influence in that team, Monday to Friday and last week and all of preseason. In some ways, you have a bigger effect on the outcome if you can get it right.
Yeah.
If you can help guys be in the moment and play free, there's no greater gift.
You've been on some trophy winning teams too, and now as a coach, what do you take from those teams that you were on, and what are you hoping to bring to the environment of this club to say, we're winning Shield, we're winning Cup, if there's a trophy, we're winning it?
Yeah, what I take from the winning situations was the ingredients. I saw the ingredients of winning teams, winning organizations, winning clubs. I was never part of a championship team that didn't have quality, right? We should have finished last, but we finished first. It was never that. We always had bits of quality. So for me, if you get some good players, you get smart people helping build things and hungry people throughout, talented pieces on the pitch, team guys that are gonna run for each other, and when things get tough, guys can hold up. And those teams always had a good coach, right? So
the honesty bit, and I feel like that is like standard of who you are though too.
I don't do well with sugarcoating. I don't do well with not saying it, and I definitely am mindful of how I make you feel. I'll never belittle a person. I think people appreciate standards and honesty. I think people really appreciate that.
You got to experience so many cool things, right? You got to experience championships. You got to experience being the best player in the league, playing for the national team. All these things that you got to experience as a player, you're now in a position where you can help others have that. Have a decade plus of time as a professional, to have a life that was lived doing something you actually really, truly love to do and doing it at the best level you can. Like, to me, when I watch you, I see that all you want is for them to have that.
That's it. That's why I coach. To coach and to pass it on, it's why even being a head coach is so much more appealing to me than an assistant coach. Players want to be coached. The best players, they want to really be coached. And I know that because I live
You've worked
that.
with them.
I hope I'm here 10 years. I swear I would stay as long as they want to have me here. But imagine they think a little bit differently how they talk to their kids one day about these messages about working hard, being tough. Can you be your best when things are toughest? It's a good message. Like, these are the messages we're going to give guys. Don't make excuses, guys. I said it the other day. I said it in the huddle yesterday to the guys. I showed them some stats, where we are in the league.
Yeah, okay.
You guys you've given up the least shots in the entire league. You've given up the least amount of this, that. You guys, stick with it, guys.
Yep. I feel like you have instilled so many things in your family that reflect, I think, what you want in a different family, right? A club that functions like a family. Everything's not perfect, but everybody works for the same goal.
I did call them my 20-something kids, like my two boys. I said, look, I got 26 or so more. Yeah. I said, guys, because I do care about you. When I go to bed, I'm thinking about how we can, what will the message be tomorrow? When I wake up, oftentimes I'm like, should I get a workout? Let me cut a little film on this day. I'm constantly thinking about you guys. I'm thinking about some of you guys having babies. I'm thinking about some of you guys having tough games and tough moments. It hurts in these moments. And guys, when I can see you have good moments, I feel so good for you, like a dad would feel, but it's not, it's a little cheesy at moments, but inevitably, if you care about these guys, it hits the heart a bit.
Well, we're just so happy to have you, and thank you for spending some time with me, because from, bringing your kids out on the pitch to our ACLs to, what our families really truly mean to us, so.
No, thank you. This has been great. In our world, it's we don't often take time out to have these conversations where people at the club helping get to know me better, what makes me tick, but listen, I only feel fortunate for these opportunities, and then at the club. I'm at a really good club, and I'm gonna fight hard to bring major success here.
Oh, we believe that. We believe that.
Thank you.
The pursuit of greatness is evident in Chris, both on the field and at home. Chris's family is adapting to a new adventure yet again in their lives, this time here in Colorado. But if they have learned anything from the past, an adventure together as a family is so worth it.